What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my brand new movie review of the new film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Captain America: Civil War.
Alright, I've run out of patience.
So the Marvel Cinematic Universe has gotten so large and so expansive. This is the 13th film. There's been like 5 TV shows. There are so many characters a part of this universe. And this is the 3rd film in the Captain America saga. It takes place 1 year after the events of Age of Ultron, and boy, there's certainly a divide happening amongst the Avengers. So essentially, to get right into it, the Avengers have been held responsible for a lot of death and a lot of catastrophe that's happened over the past 4 years. You gotta think about the events in New York. You have to think about Washington, D.C. and Winter Soldier. You have to think about Sokovia and Age of Ultron. The Avengers, despite them being the heroes of the world and of the universe, have caused a lot of damage and a lot of lives have been lost. And because of this, the federal government now wants to intervene and basically place statutes and limitations on when the team can be made readily available for the world. And as you may expect, this creates a divide amongst the Avengers. You have one side, which is Team Iron Man, and then you have another side, which is Team Captain America. And basically, to boil it down for you, Iron Man's for it, Cap's not for it. And this stems straight from the comic book series back in 2007 and 2008 that Marvel did, which was extremely popular. So you can just imagine that Captain America: Civil War had so much anticipation and so much hype going into the release of this film, especially considering all of the new characters and all of the returning characters that will be included in this film. So folks, to get right into it without any spoilers, this film is fantastic. I mean, seriously, I just do not know how the MCU and how the directors and writers and everybody a part of this Marvel team and this MCU has been able to continuously top themselves each time out, but they have found a way. Up until this point, I would consider Captain America: The Winter Soldier the best film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe thus far. However, Captain America: Civil War may just dethrone it. I mean, seriously folks, it's really that good. Let's just run through all of the great and magnificent things about this movie. First of all, the conflict between Captain America and Iron Man is so believable and so real. You've seen the tension boiling between them since the first Avengers movie, and now it's really coming to a head in this movie, and you saw the ideological differences between the two. And I think what's most valuable about it is that you can really understand both sides. Honestly, going into this movie, I was Team Captain America, but Iron Man had some really good points and really believable things as to why he felt the way that he felt, and you couldn't really be mad at him for that. Honestly, folks, it really kind of tore me apart to even see them two going at it. I mean, these are the undoubtedly leaders of the Avengers, and to see them conflicting with each other was, in a sense, it was kind of disappointing because you really care about both characters. Also, another great thing about this film, just the writing and the storytelling in general was just top of the line. I mean, really, you just gotta give props to the team behind this movie and behind the Winter Soldier. They just know this character. They know Captain America, and this is undoubtedly a Captain America film, even with the inclusion of all the characters. I mean, seriously, Cap can be seen as somebody that's a squeaky clean and morally righteous person, but you really see so much conflict in his character, and I love this modern day iteration of who he is adapting to this new world. Speaking of all the characters, wow, there are a lot of characters. This really could have been considered an Avengers film, but they did an extraordinary job of not making it an Avengers film. Though we have many Avengers included in Captain America: Civil War, it never felt overcrowded. It never felt like there were too many characters. I felt like there was a perfect balance with everybody a part of the film. Also, the dynamic between Cap and Bucky was just extraordinary. You really believe their friendship. You really believe the things that they've been through. We've seen this relationship develop since Captain America: The First Avenger through the Winter Soldier, and now to see it in Civil War really reach its apex has been such a satisfying payoff to their relationship and what they built. And of course, I have got to mention the action. This action in this movie is absolutely phenomenal. The fight choreography, the stunts, just the realistic practical effects that exist throughout everything, it was just so mind-boggling. Of course, you have to have CGI in films like this, but it never felt like it was too much. Everything felt real to a sense, and the inclusion of all these characters and the different dynamics between their fighting styles and their powers and their enhanced abilities made this such an extraordinary visual spectacle. I would be remiss if I did not mention the airport sequence that happens in Act 2 of this film. This is a non-spoilers review, but trust me when I tell you, the airport sequence in this movie is one of the greatest action sequences ever in any superhero film. And you know what? I've been hearing that in many reviews from critics and fans all over the world for the past about 2 to 3 weeks, but it really is true. That sequence, which happens in Act 2 amongst all of these heroes, is really something to behold. I mean, honestly, when I was sitting in the theater, I just felt like a little kid seeing the action jump off of a comic book page. It was just such enjoyable action. There was humor, there was wit, there were stakes. Everything you could ever imagine and want in a sequence was all put into that, and I dare say it's been the best thing of the MCU thus far. And finally, I have to mention the 2 MVPs of this movie, Black Panther and Spider-Man. Perfect and wonderful additions to this movie. Again, it never felt like it was too much. Black Panther, you can completely understand why he became a part of this situation. The inclusion of Spider-Man did not seem as if it was shoehorned in. His inclusion was really, really well crafted, and I dare say this is the best Spider-Man we've seen thus far, and I cannot wait until Black Panther comes out in 2018 and Spider-Man Homecoming comes out next year. Quite possibly the only thing that I was really upset about this movie, and it really is one of the flaws of the entire MCU, is the villain. While I do enjoy Zemo in this movie and I understand his motivations, he was kind of relegated to just being a very minor character in this movie. Although his plotline made a significant change throughout the storytelling of this movie, he just didn't do much for me. But overall, that's really the only flaw that I have with this movie. Captain America Civil War may be the best movie in the MCU. I don't want to rank it necessarily just yet because I have to see it some more, but it's easily in my top 3, top 4 contention of best MCU films thus far. And it's already, I'm telling you, it's already one of the greatest superhero films ever just because of everything it managed to do. It managed to tell an emotional and compelling story. It managed to develop the relationship between 2 best friends, turn enemies, turn best friends again. It managed to introduce so many new characters and really widen this universe even more. It managed to make you care about the characters that already exist within this universe and give them story arcs that actually mattered and furthered the plot. And of course, it just gave you incredible action that we would just be looking at 10 years from now and saying, those were some of the best fight scenes and some of the best action scenes I've ever seen. Captain America Civil War has it all. Great writing, great storytelling, great humor, great action, great emotional, compelling, just everything. Everything you can want out of a superhero film, out of a film in general, it delivers. I promise you this movie delivers. I cannot wait to see where the MCU goes from here. So folks, with all of that said, with everything I've said thus far, I'm sure you can already tell this movie's getting an incredible score for me. I'm giving Captain America Civil War a 9.3 out of 10. Yes, a 9.3 out of 10. Like I said, this movie's spectacular. One of the best MCU movies thus far. Easily one of the best superhero movies ever made. Everything is in it. Everything you can want. Go see it right now. If you have not, go see it. Alright folks, that's all I got for my review of Captain America Civil War. As always, follow me on social media, JRW the Creator, Twitter and Instagram, and then go check out my website, jordanrwilliams.com for more. And as always folks, I'll see you next time.